Queen's Park Rangers head to 12th place Sunderland on Saturday afternoon, and with the Black Cats on the back of 6 consecutive losses, I think it's safe to say that they've not had the season they were hoping for back when they beat QPR at Loftus Road 3-1 in September 2023. So, as usual, let's talk about what's been going on at Sunderland and what QPR can expect from them on Saturday afternoon. If you enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. After opening the season with back-to-back losses against Ipswich and Preston, Sunderland soon kick-started their season and got back on track to the highs of last season's playoff run, with 6 wins from their next 8 positioning them back into the playoff places. That run, of course, included their 3-1 win over Queen's Park Rangers, a match that was initially led by the home side via a Kenneth Powell goal, but that lead was soon overcome thanks to a 21st minute red card for Jack Colback against his former side, with the Black Cats eventually making good use of their extra man with 22 shots and 72% possession. Those initial 10 games had given Sunderland plenty to be happy about, with Jack Clarke already scoring 7 goals and well on his way to topping his first season total of 11, and summer signing Jobe Bellingham already shining in the middle of the park. Few would have guessed at this point though that following 2 wins from their next 9 matches, Tony Mowbray would be given his marching orders after 15 matches in charge of the club. Given their form, it was a decision that split opinions, but I think the general consensus from most Sunderland fans and general football fans was that this was a pretty ridiculous decision to make. Mowbray had steered the club to the playoff semi-finals last season in their first spell back in the Championship since 2018. A significant overachievement with an incredibly young and low-cost squad. Sporting director Christian Speakman said that they wanted to stay loyal to their ambition and strategy, i.e. they wanted to make the playoffs again and feared that that was slipping away before their very eyes. But with the club sat in 9th and just 3 points outside of those playoff places, that felt like a pretty ridiculous decision, and one that looks more ridiculous by the day given the club now sit 11 points adrift from the playoff places. Yes, Sunderland had only won 2 of those 9 fixtures, but it is a very young team and you would have surely trusted Mowbray to iron out those issues over the course of the season. Anyway, the search for a new manager was underway, and with a fortnight of links with the likes of Will Still, Paul Heckingbottom and Kim Hellberg, they finally announced the new messiah that was set to take them back to the promised land. And it was, of course, none other than Michael Beale of all people. Now, as a QPR fan, I definitely don't need to say I told you so, because to their credit, the Sunderland fans sussed him out right from the beginning and were not shy about voicing their views on his announcement. They had sacked an experienced Championship manager, one who'd got him into the playoff semi-finals last season, and replaced him with a manager that jumped ship from QPR the season before after just 22 matches in charge, and had been sacked by his next club, Rangers, after just 11 months in charge just 2 months before Sunderland gave him the head coach role. And with Bill lasting just 9 weeks, overseeing 12 matches, acquiring just 4 wins, the shortest managerial stint in the club's entire history, it's safe to say that this appointment was a total disaster. I made an individual video about his sacking which you can check out here, but let's go over some of the highlights or lowlights of his tenure. Suggesting that the Sunderland fans didn't like him because of his Cockney accent, and saying that he hadn't worked in London for 10 years despite managing QPR just 13 months earlier. Losing 3-0 to Newcastle at home in the FA Cup third round, a match which the club bizarrely decided to decorate the away fans' hospitality bar with black and white banners and Newcastle slogans. Alex Pritchard making himself unavailable for selection, leading to his immediate transfer to Birmingham in January. Losing 2-1 to Birmingham, now managed by none other than Tony Mowbray, and snubbing the outstretched hand of substitute defender Hume, making the players go into training the day after as punishment for that result, despite staying at home himself. I could go on, but we'll end with the rumours of his burner Twitter account used to defend himself online and criticise the Sunderland fans and owners. It was a total wreck on and off the pitch, and with very little in the way of tactical direction. And so, to the disappointment of QPR fans ahead of this tie, Bill was given the axe on the 19th of February. And the fact that the club did not address any of the shortcomings of their young squad, such as the burning desire for a striker, has left them in a dire position with 4 consecutive losses under third-time interim manager Mike Dodds, lengthening their winless run to 6 on the trot. They're lucky that they amassed the points that they did earlier this season, because they're actually only 9 points away from the bottom 3, and they're in the bottom 3 for the past 10 matches played. Add in the hammer blow of a 6-week injury for top scorer Jack Clarke, and I'm sure most Sunderland fans are pretty desperate for this season to end. If you are a Sunderland fan and you're watching this, do not mistake this as any kind of gloating. I have genuine sympathy for the terrible decisions that your owners have made, robbing you of what could have been another exciting year in the Championship. It's taken QPR 3 managers to recover from the departure of Mick Bill, and even then, despite the improvement that we've shown under Martí Cifuentes, we may still end up paying for those bad decisions with our place in the league. So, on to QPR, who, after a tired 2-0 loss last weekend against Boro, will be hoping to get their survival bid back on track. Our football has been considerably improved over the last 6 weeks, with that being just our second loss in the past 10, and after some huge performances against Leicester City and West Brom, I can forgive a lack of energy at the end of that 3-game week. We do need a win here though, because with Huddersfield facing Rotherham and Birmingham playing Watford, there is a very high chance that we could be back in the relegation zone at the end of this weekend if we don't get all 3 points. Now, with Sunderland in this terrible form, it could very easily be another pitfall for QPR. See Stoke, see Huddersfield. Sunderland did show the fight to come back from 2-0 down away at Southampton last weekend, but simultaneously the lack of resolve to at least see out a point, with Joe Rothwell scoring 2 goals in 3 minutes just 6 minutes after Bellingham's excellent equaliser. Their previous 5 losses were all by tighter 1-goal margins, so QPR will need to be on their A game in attack, but with Jack Clarke injured, Sunderland are not regularly scoring more than once. Personally, it does look to me like the Sunderland players' heads have gone, so if this QPR side can get back to that high intensity showed against Leicester and West Brom, I think we can get a result here, but it will not be easy. So that will be down to Martí to get the team selection right, particularly up front and especially in midfield, to make sure that we don't get overrun there just like we did against Boro. On that basis, I'm going to predict an optimistic 2-1 away win. Thank you very much for watching this preview. Do let me know your own predictions in the comments below, whether you're a QPR or Sunderland fan. And if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I've just passed 1,000 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. And I'll see you in my next video for my post-match reaction. Come on, you Rs.